Welcome back, everybody, as we get ready to go into game number 2 here of White Wolf versus Phoenix. Very, I wouldn't say as well. It still is exciting, but not quite as explosive and chaotic as the games we were seeing last week. Um, but this is almost better because we see some nice, uh, really nice controlled play from both teams here, really focusing on what they wanted to take down and kind of work on that accordingly. So, if you're Phoenix here, what do you want to see to adapt to game 2?
Um, let's see. I think maybe you take the Shen away from Odin. I think that was a very key element of them being able to survive that mid game and some of those big initiations from a Maya Chan's Pantheon. But that obviously depends on if Phoenix wants to play the same style or if they want to pivot a little bit. I absolutely agree with you though that while these games may not be as hypey as what we saw last week, I think last game was a really good example of just League of Legends in general, because you had two teams with very different types of teams, very different compositions, very different goals, and I think both executed them pretty well. White Wolf just a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. Not that either team was I don't want to say like uncontrolled, but definitely ready to pull the trigger when they needed to, and both teams were really firing back and forth. So
Absolutely.
we don't really see much changing for pick and ban, except for the Shen does get banned out. I think that's a good choice, especially since White Wolf has first pick here and would likely just first pick it again, uh, meaning Phoenix doesn't have the chance to steal it. I kind of agree that not much needed to be picked up for bans. We get chat asking if this is going to be a Kali time, but it looks like it's just going to be the Swain run back. Always that potential for the Akali.
And the Swain is once again technically a flex pick, so I don't mind them taking that first. That's another thing about the Shen though, is not only, did Odin play it very well last game, but it's also a relatively safe first pick because Shen can survive most matchups, or even excel in a lot of them. So it's not something that picking blind is really going to be punished too heavily.
Yeah, and we see Senna come through most likely in the support role. So supports are theoretically matched here, unless there's some flexing going around. Warwick, a nice. We've seen three comfort picks so far for their respective roles that we're expecting them to go to, but let's see what happens here. Do they match jungle? No, they're just gonna pick the Kaisa here. And Urgot.
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, so the Swain is still flexible. I guess technically the Kaisa could be flexible, but would certainly expect that to stay in Ravain's hands.
Also, technically, the Urgot is flexible, as Prowler has showed us last split.
Sure. That is indeed true. I don't think that I've seen Mixlink play it, and I wouldn't expect it, but you are right that that is something that I should have remembered. Lux was picked up. Again, that's, I guess, I don't think Senna is going to be 80 carry, so I feel like we're probably looking at Lux. Well, actually, Alpha might play Lux bot. So
that's true. This could be Senna Lux bot. But the Lux pick also in pair with the Vayne ban, looking to pinch Ace's pool further. We see the Victor ban come through, kind of saying that they don't expect the Lux to go mid.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Vigar ban last. Yeah, just take away, just try to get Ace onto something different. They'll take the Nasus away from
But what about his Xerath? But what about his Vel'Koz?
That's true. That's true. We have already a
and
one.
What about his Fizz?
Well, we'll see which one we see here.
We get Prowler in the chat saying Urgot jungle isn't viable. Alright, so Urgot top confirmed.
Malphite for Eternal, it looks like. No, gonna go back to that Volibear again for the second game in a row.
He did well on it. Was getting bullied around a little bit by Odin in the top lane. I don't know if the Urgot's gonna bully more or less than the Shen. It looks like we're gonna get a repeat of the Amumu here for Mixed Link, though.
Yeah, that worked well for him last game, certainly. And now we'll finally see where Swain is going based on this pick. Looks like White Wolf, or excuse me, Phoenix has left their mid lane pick.
It is going to be the Vel'Koz.
Okay. So, I mean, this Lux could potentially still be shifted over to Pointy Ball in the mid lane, but I would expect that it's going to Alpha and that we're about to see Pointy Ball get his best shot at a potential counter pick. Oh, boy.
Oh, are we going to see the Yasuo? We are going to see the Yasuo.
Out of Blitzkrieg so far this split. I believe this will be the first non-Blitzkrieg Yasuo game.
Well, Brandana's not playing this week, had something come up, so got subbed out. I believe that's correct. So Pointy Ball taking up the Yasuo?
Yep. Taking over for 1 week as the LCUS's Yasuo player. And, I mean, it's a good pick against his Vel'Koz. And it also really, having that Lux in the bot lane allows you to maintain some damage flexibility.
Well, and we know Alpha is pretty good on this Lux, coming from mid lane last split, playing Lux quite a bit as well, doing pretty well on it. So this is potentially a pretty scary bot lane from Phoenix here. If Rivain or Wishbone step a little too far up or get a little careless, they could get blown up.
Yeah.
But also a very low health pool on Phoenix, so I guess the reverse is true there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It'll be interesting to see if either jungler pays a lot of attention to the bot lane early on, because it is going to be tough to navigate if you're Rivain and Wishbone with these long-range snares, so many long-range abilities that are at the disposal of Alpha and Amaya-chan. And if you get hit by one, you're probably going to get hit by all of them. Other than that, I kind of like White Wolf's composition better overall, though. I like the balance with the front line and the back line.
Yeah, and then you also have the issue of mentioned by Twitch chat that Yasuo doesn't really have anyone to give him that additional chances at ultimates. Yasuo is generally sufficient enough of doing it himself, but it's always nice to have one or two people on the team that can also provide you those knockups for that easier, like longer range engage.
Absolutely.
That said, I'm kind of excited to see this mid lane matchup here. I feel like the Yasuo would do pretty well into the Vel'Koz despite the long range, just because of Yasuo's wind wall ability and mobility to really take advantage of this immobile Vel'Koz.
Absolutely. Yeah, if Pointy Ball's ever able to completely close the gap and also either dodge or wind wall the knockup from Ace, it's going to be bad news. Distance, especially a character like Yasuo who can just 3-hit you.
Yeah, and we saw some pretty good showings from Phoenix early last game, and then White Wolf started to come online. So I think if they do that again and then kind of clean up their gameplay a little bit in the mid game, they have a very strong chance at this game. I feel like they have a little bit better front line with the Volibear Warwick, as opposed to Lee Sin's not super durable on his own, and neither is Pantheon as well.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that this comp looks overall a little more balanced, I guess, from Phoenix. It's not exactly a conventional comp, but I think that last game it really they were selling out for the early game, and they did play pretty well in the early game, but once their momentum got staunched, it was
Yeah,
always
they
going to be
just
trouble.
couldn't find that transition into the mid game.
And this game, though, I think that they've got a lot of good scaling on their own side. So, if we do end up going into a later game situation, it's not necessarily a bleak situation for them.
Exactly.
All right, we got to look at skins quick because everyone has really fast computers.
This is a lot of pressure.
Well, Ace doesn't have a skin, so that's disappointing.
All right. I'm going to reluctantly go with Phoenix again here, just because there's a lot of skins on the side of White Wolf that I really like, but there's just a larger number of skins that I really like on the side of Phoenix here.
Yeah, and I like the bot lane combo of Alpha and Elementalist Lux and Amaya-chan on the true damage Senna. And overall 5v4. Just tough to overcome in a skin challenge. I would really like to see somebody try to make an aggressive level 1 play. That's something that we barely ever see in the LCUS anymore, it seems like.
Talk about it every week. We want your aggression, guys. Come on.
But I did get my Lee Sin prayer finally answered, so I guess I can't be too greedy here.
Oh, but I can.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Go for it. You will be my champion in this fight.
You may have want to pick a better champion.
Well, yeah, unfortunately it does look like nothing's going to really happen here. Ace checking out that pixel brush. And yeah, we're all just going to hang out for a little while. Looks like, well, actually we don't know which side Mixlink will be starting yet. Just chilling in the mid lane. Wanzi TARDIS will start bot side. And now Mixlink looks like he's going to... What is he doing? So much suspense. I don't know how to handle this. There's so much pressure right now. All right, now Mixlink walks towards the bot side, so we will have mirrored jungle starts again.
There's just no more invades, and just it's almost like teams don't want to make their game a lot harder by losing a coin flip at level 1. I don't understand it. Don't they know they're playing for our entertainment?
I was actually looking at it. I'm not even sure which team would have had the advantage in a potential level 1 skirmish. There's a lot of level 1 crowd control from both sides.
Well, as Vel'Koz, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage for White Wolf to try to get the optimal like level 1 cheese, because Swain's really the only one that could like get away with starting with his CC without really suffering.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, you do not want to start W on Vel'Koz.
Whereas Lux wouldn't be too upset about it. Senna might be a little sad about it.
Wishbone gets an early pull, and now actually, even though...
That's a lot of damage onto Wishbone, but a lot more onto Alpha.
Great play by Ravane jumping in. That was a little bit of fool's gold, unfortunately, because they got Wishbone so low, but they didn't get the early level 2. So Ravane...
And Alpha dies with both summoner spells up. So potentially reacting a little bit sooner means Alpha could have potentially flash healed and gotten to safety. After the flash came through from Ravane, though, I do agree that using him then was bad.
Alonzi TARDIS with a brilliant play, though. Solo kills Mixlink and with a nifty flash onto that blast cone to make sure that the Amumu couldn't escape that way.
Yeah.
Ball pushing an ace, as we probably would have expected.
It's one of the worst feelings when you're playing against a Warwick, is when you try to flash away from him and he's just latched onto you with his Q. And you're just like, this was all a waste. My life is a lie. Existence is pain. And then you die.
Turtle and Odin brawling up in the top side. Looks like Odin getting the slight advantage out of that particular trade. Lonzi TARDIS now has a 2-level advantage, although that probably won't last long as levels go very quickly at this stage of the game. Looking to come around on Ace. Ace playing respectfully, though. Looks like he does know that Lonzi TARDIS is bot side. And Tardis will just walk on through. If he were to actually go all the way through, he could contest this crab. Yeah, if he would have gotten there a little bit earlier, if he could have gotten that second crab, that would have been devastating for Mixlink.
We're gonna have to make a conscious effort to keep our eyes on this Senna stack, so Twitch chat doesn't eat me alive. We're currently at 8, 4 minutes in.
There misses. Looking for Wishbone there. Oh no! Alpha detonated the Singularity a little early and actually missed that cannon minion. So right now we're basically seeing a another game where Alonzi Tardis has gotten an early advantage in the jungle, but it's being offset by that big play in the bot lane by Ravane.
Yeah,
Snare lands on the Wishbone. This could be a scary situation. Gonna get snared up again. Do they have the damage though? They just don't. And that's nice by Ravane, just stepping forward, immediately getting them off of his support.
Wishbone definitely a target for a lot of bullying here, but Ravane kind of just giving the beating back, saying no, leave my Swain alone.
Ravane is doing a really good job of landing the Void Seekers. That's a really big part of Kai'Sa's damage, especially in the early laning phase.
Absolutely. When you have that low attack speed, those 2 plasma charges is just so huge.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason that we saw Alpha die with both summoners up earlier, is that I believe it was a Void Seeker that actually popped the plasma stacks. So it just ended up being really quick, like 200 damage or something.
Yep, and then Ravane flashed forward and auto-queued to seal the deal.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we have Mixlink hanging around on the bot side. Alonzi Tardis is here as well, though. So
spotted out. Junglers saw each other. Pointy ball going in for some aggression on Ace.
Oh, he actually flashes in. Oh, he stuttered for the ultimate for a second, or excuse me, for the last Q, and now could be in a lot of trouble. Gonna get burned
misses,
down.
But it's not gonna matter.
Disintegration
Hook
ray.
on the bot lane. This could be a Maya-chan going down, and the Void Seeker does hit to finish him off. This is 2 more kills over in favor of White Wolf. They are going to start up the dragon off of this as well. They've got a 2v4 advantage down there, so they should safely go over to them.
Yeah, it should be a free dragon. It was interesting there. Pointy ball, he saw the knockback of Ace miss, and I think, rightfully so, said, all right, this is my chance, jumped in, and then there was a moment where he just froze for a second before he fired that tornado. Now he's looking for more aggression, though. Could get punished again, though. Good dodge on the bandage toss from Mixlink. Still not level 6, so won't be able to utilize that Curse of the Sad Mummy yet. Pony Ball dashes back to safety. And despite that death, Pony Ball still has a moderate CS advantage. Ace will trim that a little bit here with this wave approaching.
Not a whole lot of excitement going on in the top lane here, but we'll leave our island alone for now. Slight CS advantage for Great Beater Odin here.
I would like to see Alonzi Tardis come mid, or maybe try to lie in wait for some counter aggression in the bot lane. I feel like he had such a big advantage over Mixlink very early in the game, but hasn't really been able to pass that off to any of his lanes.
Yeah, it's nice having that 1 or 2 level advantage for smite duels, but when you don't have the priority to contest the objectives, it feels like a wasted advantage, you know?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Up in the top lane, yeah, we're just hanging out. Odin with a modest CS advantage, much like Pony Ball in the mid lane. Ravane has managed to stack up a big CS lead in the bot lane, but you'd obviously expect that, given that he also has 3 kills.
Only one of which was on to Alpha. But Wishbone doing a great job of standing in front of those mini waves, kind of zoning as much as he can.
Pony Ball able to land that tornado. but not really in a position to capitalize on it too heavily. Lonzy Tardis is behind enemy lines, but Ace is shoved in again, so cannot really come to help. They're going to bring Odin down, as it looks like Lonzy Tardis wants to contest this blue buff, but he is spotted out. And now Mixlink jumps right in onto him. Oh, they are going to punish this so heavily. Any second now the Urgot ult should come out. Sig Tower Eternal could actually block it, potentially. We'll see. Oh, it already was fired. I didn't even see
already
that.
tagged him, but he didn't hit the threshold, so very unfortunate there.
Pretty fortunate.
It did force the flash and ultimate out of Alonzi Tardis, though, so not an overall loss by any means.
And they did get the blue buff secured to Ace, which I'm sure.
Roots pile onto Wishbone again, and stopwatch is OP. Call you Congressman. Missed a couple shoutouts to Kenos last game on that, but at that point it was already Zonya's, so we're not gonna say it was too much of a missed call out.
Just barely able to juke that snare, but not the second one. And actually, that's a good amount of
taking a lot of damage and does just go down to the death beam while he's trying to take those raptors.
Nice solo kill by Ace there. Now you have Alonzi Tardis coming down towards the bot lane. He is spotted out by a couple of wards, though, but this could be a potential dive threat. Maya-chan does not yet have access to the ultimate. Might get it off this wave, and Wishbone is going to recall Phoenix. If they can shove this lane in before anyone gets back to help Ravane.
TP is available from Odin if need be.
And yeah, an Eternal can match. Oh, they have teleport coming in way in the back, actually. Ravane could be in trouble. Can he juke? Oh, gets hit by the very first snare. Has no chance now. Gonna go down. Shutdown goes over to Alonzi Tardis. Nice flash. Getting away. Great bit of Odin now, though. Alpha just left out all alone. Eternal matches. But I think it's a little bit late. Ace now showing up. Looking to run down Alonzi Tardis. They get the suppression down onto the Urgot, and they do get that kill. Ace should be fine. And now Pointing Ball will get some free time in the mid lane.
Yeah, very unfortunate at the start of the fight that Ravane was trying to get a Void Seeker onto either Alpha or Amaya so he could ult to meet up with Great Bear Odin, but a minion walked into it and he just couldn't get out.
Rift Herald summoned up in the top lane, so Mixlink has become the top laner basically here, looking to potentially get that first turret. I think that plate is going to take a long time to whittle down.
He is being raced by the mid lane.
And Alonzi Tardis gets shut down as Ace catches him. Ravane in some trouble. Oh, nice ult to juke away from Pointing Ball just enough. One more auto from Amaya-chan. They do actually get it with the Ignite, I believe. Wishbone shows up, though. Snare lands from Amaya-chan. Will he be able to walk away? Ace flashes after, misses the W. He just needs one more spell. There's the Q. Got him. The Comet
seals the deal. Turret does go down for Mixlink, does flash out just because he doesn't want to die to Eternal up there. Oh man.
Yeah.
What a game.
That feels pretty bad if you're Phoenix because you just got a nice play in the bot lane, but maybe stuck around the mid lane just a little too long, got caught by that big Vel'Koz damage, and a nice job by Wishbone being a pretty potent front line there just to keep Ace safe amidst all of that action.
We see Brandana in the chat saying just wait till the O10 power spike. And the ball is a little ways away from there.
Eternal walking up on Odin right now. But, oh boy, they might actually, yeah, they're going to get caught. You're locked in here with me, says Mixlink, but now actually it might get turned back around the other way. Curse of the Sad Mummy will keep everyone safe. The Lux Snare just barely misses.
Ace is not here yet and won't be here for the Dragon. Dragon does go down.
Yeah, Pointy Ball actually secures it. So if you're Phoenix, you're feeling pretty good about that. Don't let them stack up the Drakes too quickly like they did last game.
If you're Wishbone there, you almost want to get hit by that Tornado to almost bait Pointy Ball to ult in.
Sure, yeah. That would not have been a trip that he would have wanted to take, I think. Knockup lands onto Sig Tau Eternal. Pointy Ball throws out the wind wall, but oh boy, that doesn't block the beam, and he gets shut down. Or not shut down, just killed.
taken down. We're one step closer to that power spike. Twitch chat is reminding me that the thing I said I was going to be diligent about, I am not being, and we're at 35 stacks.
35. Vervain walks too far forward here. It could be trouble. They missed the snare, though.
So just a couple more away from that next range buff. Vixlink goes in, not able to get anything there. No ult to lock them down.
Sig Tower Eternal and Alonzi TARDIS.
It looks like he must have gotten tagged by the Warwick ult there and taken down accordingly.
And they've shifted Pointy Ball up to the top lane now, so probably just trying to let this Yasuo farm up and scale up for a while at this point in the game. I think that Alpha and Amaya-chan have done a pretty good job of sort of stabilizing down here in the bot lane, and just as I say that, actually Alpha is going to get destroyed. Vervain jumps in one more time with that killer instinct. Caster Curse, my bad, guys. Alonzi TARDIS gonna bully away the blue buff, so still asserting some dominance in the jungle. But the bot lane lead is getting to be pretty serious right now, especially considering that Kai'Sa is a champion that scales quite well.
Absolutely.
Link is actually behind enemy lines right now. This is an interesting setup up here in the top lane. They don't know he's there. Now they find him. Alonzi TARDIS is going to catch up to him any second now. Doesn't have ult available. Mixlink uses the Curse of the Sad Mummy in a different
have flash
way.
available.
And Alonzi TARDIS, oh, nice interrupt from Pointy Ball. Might have saved Alonzi TARDIS' life. Now he's looking to get going. Got one. Can he get a second? Not quite. Ace able to keep him at bay. Now
Odin shows up in the top side, gets the ult off onto Alonzi TARDIS, finishing him off.
But now Pointy Ball is going to get Greybeard of Odin as well, I believe. Oh, taken really low. Nice job.
Shield comes a little too late, and no assist for Alpha for his trouble.
All of a sudden, this Yasuo just got a nice few pennies in his pockets.
We have Amaya actually left alone bot lane to farm up. Just two more spirits away from that next range boost.
This game has a little bit of a feel of, I believe it was game 2 of the first Blitzkrieg series. This split where Brandana first brought out the Yasuo, and they were down early, and it looked like trouble, but they were just finding enough little advantages or enough compensation to stay in the game.
I'm just beginning to think that O10 power spike is a myth.
Oh, they really flash in. They go right after Ace. They pop everything and they get what they wanted. Double buffs now onto Pointy Ball.
And I double checked. He's not at 10 deaths yet, but he's online now.
Absolutely. It looks like they will be able to translate that into a pretty free Rift Herald.
Yeah, this is going to be Rift Herald, and we're seeing some much-needed signs of life from Phoenix here, letting White Wolf know that you may have gotten the better of us in the early game, but it's our turn to take the game over.
See where they try to go with this Rift Herald. They should be able to get this mid lane turret and then could maybe pop the Rift Herald for the next one. Collapse coming in from White Wolf now. Oh, Alonzi TARDIS whiffs on the ultimate, but still forces out the flash from Wishbone. Snare actually landed from Alpha. I'm not sure if he might fire the waves. Oh, it's not quite available yet. Not at that point where you can fire it all the time. Now all the damage coming back onto Alpha so much. There's the Disintegration Ray. Odin will snag it for himself instead. And everyone from Phoenix showing up just a little bit too late to protect Alpha at the end. Nice pick by White Wolf there. Should set them up for a Drake. Alonzi TARDIS walking up, just taking a lot of damage from Odin though. He will get snared up, but I think he's tanky enough that they're not going to all-in him. And indeed, White Wolf, they do get their prize, the third Drake of the game.
We see another Mountain Soul for this matchup.
I think that'll be a big deal especially if White Wolf are able to get that soul, because the burst damage from a Lux and things is just much harder to zero somebody out when they have that added shield. If you're Phoenix, you have to be a little bit careful about how aggressively you defend this turret, because if you get caught here, it could be a lot worse as they do catch on to Alpha. But in goes Ponyball with a big ult in the backline, but he's deleted immediately. Now Alonzi Tart is coming around. Ravane jumps into the backline. Is this going to be one of those situations where the Kaisa runs it down? Looks like Ravane will get locked up and taken down. Alonzi Tart is still trying to run down Mixlink. It's Ace against the world. And it looks like everyone is willing to handshake this. Oh, Alonzi Tardis jumps in, he gets the ult. Flash away from Ace, turns around with the right. Eternal getting burned down. He won't die, though. Oh, Mixlink is still alive, though. He shows up, and now Ace is still running away. This Vel'Koz refuses to die. Amaya-chan needs one more shot and got him. It's a delayed ace for Team Phoenix after all of that.
When Ravane jumps in, he decides to switch focus onto the Senna, and because of that, I think dies to the extra damage from the almost dead Volibear there. I think if he finishes off the Volibear there, instead he's able to successfully clean up the backline.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. I wasn't watching that part that closely, but Eternal seemed like he lived way too long and was able to affect the back end of that fight way too much. Ponyball right there, getting a huge engage in. He got immediately deleted, but the fight ended up going his team's way, so...
Yeah, followed by just a lot of combo damage between Alpha and Eternal into that fight. Just blew up most of White Wolf's line. And we see Great Beard of Odin trying to get a cheeky kill in there with his ult, but not quite able to do enough damage and does have to leave. Rift Herald almost times out, so they just have to drop it. White Wolf pulling the trigger on this Baron very early, and
I don't think Phoenix has any idea. They are all pretty close, but they have no idea
clue this is happening.
Sigtao Eternal will finally walk over, but it's too late. Really, really nice call, I think, from White Wolf right there. They realized that they had Alonzi Tardis chunked out. They saw Ponyball bot lane and just decided to go for it.
We see Senna's made 53 stacks now. Definitely getting that extra bit of range is going to keep that Senna even more disgusting for White Wolf to deal with. So
yeah, you saw that range coming into effect in that last fight where Amaya-chan as support was able to run down Ace at the end of that fight finally. So at this point, if you're White Wolf, you're probably just looking to set up a pretty standard 4-1 here with Odin as your one. I feel like Ace, even though he does have teleport, Vel'Koz isn't really the kind of champion that you want to send off into a side lane by itself.
I completely agree with that. I think Vel'Koz is also just too immobile to send off on his own.
Yeah, and if he gets caught by one piece of CC, he's probably dead.
I mean, but it's kind of like, would you send a balloon to go take care of its own wave? No, not gonna do that. Somebody just walks up with a pin and boop.
A lot of XP sharing going on in the mid lane, actually, right there, between Ponyball, Alpha, and Amaya-chan.
We see Dragon coming up in 40 seconds. White Wolf has the inside track on it, so currently setting up their vision for it. Both top laners do have TP up here. Great Beard of Odin just kind of sieging away for the moment.
Yep, that cannon minion just firing away at Sigtao Eternal.
Senna not able to get up to 60 before this next fight yet, so not quite that next range boost just yet. Probably will get it during the fight, though.
Oh, the bandage toss did not land from Mixlink. Nice anticipation. Ponyball's around the side. They do see him as he takes out a ward. And what's interesting with these top laners both having teleport is that both also have ways to pretty reliably interrupt teleport. Speaking of interruption, they jump right in onto Alonzi TARDIS. There is all the damage. Mixling taken really low as well. Ravane is about half health. Ponyball in the back. Can he make this happen? He does get ace, but that's all that Phoenix is going to garner from this fight. Amaya-chan will probably get run down by Greatbeard of Odin here.
Yeah, Odin TP's down. Eternal doesn't match, so this dragon is 100% going to the side of White Wolf, despite the fight not really going clearly in their favor.
Ooh, the snipe just barely misses from Ravane there. Didn't still have the killer instinct, so probably wouldn't have been able to follow up anyways, but overall, yeah, really nice setup from White Wolf. Looked like Phoenix had a chance in that fight, but the carries of White Wolf did a pretty good job.
Senna has crested that 60 stack mark now, so just a little bit farther away from the fights.
And Ponyball has now gotten to the point where he has the highest CS in the game. Is at about 2.5 items.
Gold lead is about 3k right now, and that's pretty much the difference between these bot lane carries.
Yeah, definitely some difference there. 733 versus 155. You would expect a pretty big gold disparity between those two particular characters. I feel like if you're Phoenix, at this point you really didn't want to give up that soul point there, because now you're on a clock. You have to fight this next Drake, whereas you would have liked to have had a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more leeway to allow this Yasuo to continue to get to that ridiculously powerful point. Looks like they will send Ponyball up to be the one who matches Greatbeard of Odin. Odin has been a rock in these fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very sturdy, very oppressive, just to be in there and disrupt.
And now he's walking down towards the mid lane. He'll get spotted by a ward.
Wishbone does pop the Zhonya's there to keep her safe from that final spark.
What is the cooldown on the spark right now? 50 seconds. Ponyball gets caught out a little bit. Actually has to flash. That is so much damage.
He is going to be able to walk it out though, so not the end of the world there. We see Senna's up to 67 stacks here. Able to heal them up a little bit, mixed with Ponyball's healing on his own. He's stepping forward to look for a tornado. He's not going to find one though.
Yeah, and this is when it comes down to what both you and Twitch chat were saying earlier, where it's just, if this Yasuo had somebody else who could jump in and get the knockups onto the backline for him, it becomes so much easier to play these team fights. Oh, actually he gets pulled back by Wishbone. That's a nice play, able to juke away from enough of the other follow-up though.
Void Seeker doesn't connect, and that saves him a lot of health, but Senna's able to just keep the whole team relatively high health without too much trouble.
Wolf has arrested mid lane priority now, though. There's only one ward on the top side towards Baron for Phoenix, so they have to be a little bit careful of not allowing
They're going to dip away to set up for a death bush here. And Dragon's not for a minute 30. We see 3 sweepers coming across at the same time.
Yeah, if you're Phoenix right now, this is a difficult situation, because if White Wolf can just stall you out here for another minute or so, then you basically have to choose.
Alpha very intelligently throws the E out on that pixel bush and thwarts the all-in potential there.
Odin was looking for Ponyball for a moment there, it looked like. More pings going down onto the Baron from White Wolf. There is a ward in the back of the pit that actually the pink ward from White Wolf does not see. So White Wolf thinks that they are getting away with this right now, but Phoenix absolutely knows. Alonzi TARDIS just backed, though. So that's really unfortunate, because he's not going to get back in time for a smite fight, which means, actually, White Wolf kind of does him a favor by pulling back. Pointy Ball gets caught, though, and he could go down without getting to do anything in this fight. They do melt Odin first, and Pointy Ball does get in and is at least able to do a little bit before dropping. Meanwhile, in the backline, Sig Tau Eternal trying to get all the work done. Ravane goes down. Sig Tau Eternal with a huge play in the back. Got everybody. It's a triple kill for the Volibear. A clean ace. Gonna be a Baron. And could even be a Dragon afterward if they run to it quickly enough.
Very, very durable Volibear here. Stays alive throughout the entirety of that fight on the back line and just allows for the rest of his team to clean up the other side. TP coming in from Eternal to just get back to this Baron to make sure it goes down.
We do have teleports on both Odin and Ace, so they could get back for this if Phoenix tries to run straight to the Drake.
And Baron's going to put Maya-chan over that 80 stack mark. We see a TP coming out from Odin to go to the bot lane. Try to dissuade as much pressure towards that dragon as he can. Yeah, TP coming in from Ace into the bot lane so he can get there to kind of support Odin here, who is about to be collapsed on.
Yeah, White Wolf is split right now. If you're Phoenix, oh, Alpha gets caught. This is trouble. Alpha goes down right away. That's
so
really
fast.
Tragic. That's really unfortunate for Phoenix. Alonzi Tart is just trying to do whatever he can. Pointy Ball now left all alone in the pit. They do jump in. They can get Ravane. They do get Ravane, and they collapse heavily on the top side of the fight. But Ace is still untouched in the back. There's the Disintegration Ray. There's nothing left to interrupt it. Alonzi Tart is just trying to run at him. Meanwhile, Amaya-chan is going to get run down by Odin. It's going to be an ace for White Wolf, and they're going to get the Mountain Soul now.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Alpha to get caught out on the side there. And Pointy Ball kind of tries to hang around in the corner of the pit where they can't see him and try to get a dive onto the back line. Able to kind of make it happen, but it's just not enough. And Ace is just so far off to the side that he's able to just kind of free fire as he walks into the fight.
Yeah, for a moment it looked like Phoenix might turn that around, but they just had nothing left to stop that Disintegration Ray, and as you said, just melted everybody. So with the Mountain Soul now in hand for White Wolf, they've got to be feeling pretty good. They also just got every single Baron buff off of Phoenix.
Amaya up to 87 stacks now. Able to pick up a lot in that fight.
Yeah, Amaya-chan is starting to do some legitimate damage in these fights. Really, really good stuff. And being that, you know, that third damage threat that I think they need.
Yeah, when you have Yasuo pumping out so much damage, but so risky to be pumping out the damage because he's just up in the face of your enemy the whole time. It's really nice to have that Senna that's able to just sit so far back, especially with rapid fire cannon and this perpetually growing number of stacks. We're up to 91 now.
If Ravane landed that Void Seeker, I thought for a moment he might go in with the Killer Instinct.
Sometimes it's just fun to pull the trigger, you know? Yeah, and these fights are going to be a lot harder for Phoenix now that Mountain Soul is over to the side of White Wolf, because it's just that extra bit of health in that shield is just very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it's just...
Plus the stacking resistances.
Right now, do you think that we're just going to see these teams stall until a potential Elder fight? It looks like everybody's just willing to sort of cautiously ARAM it so far.
Well, right now, you're missing 2 people on the side of White Wolf, so you don't want to fight right now. I think Ravane's trying to gather as much farm as he can to finish up that...
Oh, Pointy Ball. Flash for it now. He's really committing, and they do get in. Nice job by Alonzi Tardis to follow up with his mid laner, and in goes Sig Tau Eternal with a big ult in the backline. Wishbone has to pop the Zonius. Here's Ravane, though, from the backside, destroys Amaya-chan. In onto Alpha. The Kaisa has arrived and is going to clean up everything. could actually be a penta if he's able to stay alive. Pointy Ball is still alive, though, and Pointy Ball, it is a quadra, and this is going to be a penta. No, Mixlink stole it away.
And Ravane, being away from the fight, almost throws the fight away to the side of Phoenix, but able to get there, and the angle that he gets into the fight just completely destroying the backline of Phoenix. Very, very important for that fight there.
I do want to say it did not look like Mixlink tried to steal that. I think it was just the
I think
W.
it was. I definitely think it was the little crybaby tears that took it from
Despair, aptly named, given the outcome there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Ravane got the perfect angle into that fight. Amaya-chan flashing for a snare. I'm not sure if that would have even worked out had it landed.
Yeah,
now we have Baron coming up in about a minute, Elder in about 2 minutes.
Amaya has crested the 100 stack mark now, so a little bit of extra damage, a little bit of extra range. But I guess being in the backline does not make you safe from Ravane's killer instincts.
Yeah.
Did you print?
Just yeah, just really, really good stuff. Honestly, from both teams, I really think that Phoenix, I liked the play. You know, Pointy Ball going super aggressive with that flash, forcing the stopwatch, or rather the Zonias from Ace, and then Alonzi Tardis having the courage to still follow up on it and jump in. They do delete the Vel'Koz immediately, but unfortunately, the Kaisa just able to come in the back and destroy everybody.
Well, just the positioning there from the Vel'Koz was very troublesome for the Zonias to come through, because it enabled the... He was split off enough that it was a very good collapse for Phoenix to take advantage of. So I'm very proud of them and happy for them to pull the trigger on that, because it did work out really well until Ravane showed up in the back end.
And Ravane now at 12, 5, and 8 on this Kaisa. About on the way to being full build, with that Vamp Scepter being the only thing that still needs to be upgraded. We're on to the Baron again. This would be the third of the game. It's been 1-1 so far. Big laser onto Mixlink. He's taken pretty low, and they do have to pop the heal. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Pointy Ball and Great Beard of Odin are brawling.
It looks like the brawl's gonna... kind of
Odin with the solo kill. Really, really nice done by him. They jump in. They're trying to kill this Urgot so badly, but he is so tanky. That's the Mountain Soul plus just Urgot in general. Ravane is in the back line again. It's another ace for White Wolf, and it's going to be a 2-0. 4 games in a row now it'll be for White Wolf over the last 2.
Yeah, and they don't even need to go get Elder. They don't need to do Baron. This death timers are long enough that this is going to be GG right here. Really questionable from Phoenix not just collapsing on either fight earlier, kind of just standing around in the middle until after Pointy Ball dies.
Yeah, and then everybody jumped onto Odin, but just there was not the damage left to finish him, and they all just kind of lined up for all the Ravane and Ace damage afterwards.
It just feels weird, because if you're going to make that decision, you feel like you make it earlier, right? Either way, heading into our stats screen, we're going to check out just how much damage everyone did. Vel'Koz doing a ton of damage this time. And
nice damage from Odin too.
Absolutely.
With the second post in the game from that Urgot.
That percent health damage onto the Volibear that he gets to beat up on all game, though, definitely adds up pretty nicely for him. Looking at vision score here. Very impressive vision score from Wishbone here again.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's both games over 70 on the vision score, so nicely done.
I think it was actually 71 both games.
Consistency is key. But yeah, overall, I thought that was a really well played series by both teams. I mean, I know it ended up being a 2-0, but if I'm Phoenix, I would tell them, you know, if I was their coach or something, not to hang their heads. I think they played pretty well.
I mean, this is just kind of the problem of how some of those games go, though. It's like the scoreboard doesn't do it justice, you know? Because at the end of the day, it's a 2-0, but the games tell a different story.
Absolutely.
And it looks like we actually have an interview with Ace. So, you ready to hop over there?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Hey, Ace, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. How are you guys doing?
I'm
Pretty
doing
good.
all right.
Fun games.
Very very good games by both teams there. I guess started us off with game one. Phoenix kind of came out of the gate swinging. What they got some early leads, and what was kind of your reaction to that?
They picked a really early high lethality team comp, and we were very, very scared by that snowball that they started with there. Uh, as you can see with the early GA on both me in the mid lane and Ravane.
And is that a situation where, immediately you're kind of just assessing, like, okay, guys, let's just survive to like 20, 25 minutes, being fully confident that you would turn around as long as you didn't let the snowball, as you said, roll too far?
Yeah, absolutely. We had the Shen top, that just is Odin's best champion besides Akali. And with that type of shield, that could just go on to either Vayne or Kaisa. We were just like, we need to build armor and not get one shot by the Orianna ultimate, which was very close to happening every single team fight. But with those shields, we were like, let's just stall this out and get to team fights.
Yeah, Ponyball definitely able to kind of keep you scared all game long with those Oriana alts consistently hitting. It felt like you almost every time.
Yeah, which is quite embarrassing playing a champion with a tumble. But
moving over to game two, you had a stronger start, and then Phoenix kind of started to come back a little bit, but you guys obviously worked it out in the end. What was kind of going through your mind when they were starting to really swing back?
they're just such a good team. Like I think most of the teams like are scared of Phoenix. I know we are, and I think that if maybe they would have had one more knockup on the team,
Hmm.
Yeah, we would have been super scared. But instead, the main knockup was just Yasuo having to jump in on us. So we just were hoping that we could pop the Yasuo before he was able to just 1v5 everybody. But I think the Volibear ult also is a knockup, but that's a very situational knockup.
And I know coming into this, you and Odin have been in the LCUS forever. I think that you're widely considered some of the best players at your respective positions. Ravane and Wishbone, I believe they're both silver ranked, so not exactly elite level. But I feel like they have been rocks for you guys down in that bot lane. Can you talk a little bit about have they exceeded your expectations? Did you expect them to be this good this early?
No, I didn't expect them to be this good. They started out like never having played with each other before, but they've really been putting time in, working together, getting synergy on comfort picks, and they're both named Sam, so that doesn't hurt anything either.
I didn't actually know that. That's funny.
The synergy. So, other than kind of shouting them out, which obviously you've just done saying they've played above kind of what you've expected so far, do you have any other shout outs that you want to kind of give out?
Yeah, shout out to the whole team. Shout out to our jungler as well, Mixlink. We didn't stick him on J4 tank duty, so tried to make the fans happy there. And he really showed up this game. And you guys can see with the Skarner target bans that he's drawing some really well-due respect for being silver as well.
Any
Awesome.
closing
Well,
thoughts on
congrats.
that, Jeff?
No, I think we went through it all. Just want to say congrats on the 2-0. I appreciate it. After I put you guys one in my power rankings, it's been nice to not look silly.
Yeah, well, thanks for casting, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep,
All right.
and
Have a good one.
congrats on your game, and good luck in the rest of the split.
Thanks.
All right, that brings us to our exciting conclusion to set number 2. And stay tuned for set number 3, where we have Blitzkrieg taking on option 12.